So, while I was gone last week, something happened that struck the perfect balance between magically hilarious and nauseating. Because as you all know, late at night, one day, Ted Cruz decided to like a specific tweet on Twitter that some of us might consider hardcore pornography. Now, of course, even though I'm super late to the party on this, there's no way I would miss this because this is probably one of my favorite stories of the year. Now, the minute that I learned about this, I actually put up a poll on Twitter asking my followers what his likely excuse would be, and with 41% of the vote, people thought that he would claim his account was hacked. 34% thought that he would just own up to it, and only 25% thought that he would probably blame a staffer. So let's go ahead and find out who he decided to blame.
Oh, look, it was, we had a staffer who accidentally hit the wrong button. And it was a screw up. I will say Twitter went crazy with it. It became trending. As soon as we found out about it, we pulled it down. And it's generated a lot of amusement. It has prompted a lot of jokes. I understand that. I saw one person joking online that if only this had happened during the presidential, Cruz might be in the White House right now.
Have you identified the staffer? You know who it is?
We have looked into it. Yes, we have identified it. We pulled it down. It was an honest mistake. It was not. It wasn't malicious. It wasn't deliberate. It was a screw up.
Is the staffer being punished?
We have talked with the staffer. It's not going to happen again. It was a screw up.
Can you tell me the staffer's name?
I'm not going to out the fella. I mean, we have dealt with it internally, but I'm not going to throw someone under the bus.
Can you definitively say that it wasn't you?
It was not me, and it's not going to happen again. This was a screw up.
Do you appreciate the irony that you once defended a Texas law banning sales of sex toys?
No, actually, I mean, that's a good example, Dana, of where the media runs with things that are just totally false.
What's false about that?
So what is false about that? So I've read online, Cruz supports banning sex toys.
No.
That's complete
the sales.
nonsense.
I reread the brief this morning.
So
the sale of it.
All right. I spent 5.5 years as the Solicitor General of Texas. I worked for the Attorney General. The Attorney General's job is to defend the laws passed by the Texas legislature.
I get it, yep.
One of those laws was a law restricting the sale of sex toys. It was a stupid law. Listen, I am one of the most libertarian members of the Senate. I think it's idiotic, but it's an opportunity for knuckleheads in the media to claim, oh, isn't this ironic that Cruz wants to ban these things?
I can't believe I'm going to say...
People ought to be able to do what they want.
I can't believe I'm going to ask you this, but so you're officially saying Ted Cruz is okay with people buying sex toys?
I am saying that consenting adults should be able to do whatever they want in their bedrooms. And the media and the left seem obsessed with sex. Let people do what they want.
Let's talk about tax reform.
I love the transition at the end. They're just talking about pornography and masturbation, then shifts to tax reform like that. I thought it was great. This is what he says. He states, there was no malicious intent there. It was a staffer that just, hit the wrong button. Sure, Ted.
Sure, Jan.
Would that staffer happen to be named Ted Cruz? Because, it technically would still be true, right? Because, you are part of your own staff, right? So you're not lying if you say a staffer hit the wrong button. Was that staffer you, Ted? Look, if you've watched this program for a really long time, you know what my response is already going to be to Ted Cruz here. Cue the song.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying. Always lying to me. You lying so much. You making it hard for me.
Okay, so as American citizens, we deserve to know the real story here. And I'm going to give you the real story as to, the way I think this evening unfolded. Ted Cruz didn't realize that he wasn't still signed onto his throwaway Twitter account that he uses to like porn tweets. And he decided to maybe go through and see what was on the internet in terms of pornography. And he decided to like this one to save it for later so he could come back to it and beat his meat to it. That's exactly what happened. And towards the end, we all know that, you know, he enjoyed this porn so much that when he finished, he made this specific face. You're welcome for that image. I'm so sorry. Now, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't share my favorite memes with you that, you know, came about as a direct result of this. Look, I laughed so hard that my stomach was literally hurting. Like, I had tears streaming down my face as I was, you know, reading Twitter and seeing some of these memes. So, probably my favorite here in an extremely Ted Cruz voice. Time for a little porn-a-rooney! That's the best that it gets, people, when it comes to my Ted Cruz impression. Another one here, when the gerbil in your butt sneezes. This one, I don't know how long I laughed at this meme here. It's so long. Another one, I'm gonna beat my dick like a drum. And this one even has a Verit authentication code too, so you know it's legit. And finally, from my buddy Ben Dixon here, he states, "It's okay, Ted Cruz. I too have staffers who accidentally like porn tweets on my Twitter account late at night when they're off work." So look, nobody believes you, Ted Cruz. We all know that that was you that liked that particular tweet. It wasn't like, you know, this was even on his Senate account, because he has two Twitter accounts, right? One for, you know, him being a senator and just his personal Twitter account. This was his personal Twitter account, and it was late at night, as Ben Dixon stated here. So we know that it was you. You wanted to jerk off to this particular porn after railing against pornography and saying that the sale of sex toys should be banned in the state of Texas, saying that we don't have the right to masturbate. Well, apparently, you like to do that as well. So look, this goes without saying, I don't care that Ted Cruz looks at porn. What I really care about is the hypocrisy, and now that he is exposed as a gigantic hypocrite, of course, I'm going to take the opportunity here to make fun of him. Because he's a gigantic creep, and that's never going to change. So, Ted, I'm sorry, we don't believe you. Let's play that song one more time.
Oh my God, stop fucking lying.
Support this podcast by becoming a patron at patreon.com/Humanist Report.